Hey, what's going on everyone? Hanging out here. I got a little bit of a project. What happens is when it rains, the sediment kind of moved down, the dirt kind of flowed downhill rather. And since I have this cement here, it's been blocking it and it's making the fence a little bit low. And I had one of my bigger redfoots climb right on out. So I'm fitting this. I'm gonna actually cut it to size. There's just so much going on right now. So I'm gonna hit that in a little bit. But first, I wanted to have a look around to check on some of these cherry heads and then the radiateds, because I want to get to that so that I can show you guys how to properly dig up the nest and see what you need to do when you have a radiated tortoise.
Thank you to all our loyal Patreon members out there. This week's shout out goes to Kylie and Mark Hampson.
Right now, we're just kind of having a peek around, and I've got my little poker here. Had a trap set up, haven't caught anybody. I did see a few broken eggshells, so I know that somebody got in here to get at my tortoise eggs. Now, I want to make sure that these redfoots, or rather the cherry heads, haven't actually laid any nests. And what's this? This is one of the newer ones that I got from my buddy Maurice, one of our new tortoises. So let's just move this guy out of the way here for a second. Little female right there. I don't see any obvious signs of a nest in this area, so we're gonna probably move along. But here's some crazy jelly that it's this weird jelly stuff, and I think it falls down from these trees, these traveler's palms right here. They're pretty nuts. They're like a tropical plant, and I don't know what that is, but it doesn't hurt anybody. It's just a gooey substance that comes from the plant itself. All right, let's head on over here, short walk. Let's go see what's happening. Oh, look at this. There's Boba. He's actually, look at this guy. He's drinking. Wow, and I actually have to get in there. Let me get in here and make sure that our water is flowing properly on our ecosystem pond here. Oh yeah, look at this. This is a problem. This is a problem. We've got bubbles. Every now and again, we got to get over here. And we just got to do this. It's very simple. Hey, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? You just got to pull some of this plant matter away. I just chuck it. And then that's going to help us get the flow going again. Just go. See this? Just, look at that. Just move these rocks around. Stir things up a bit. And you've got flow again. That's simple. And this happens like maybe every couple weeks, but you just have to be prepared for it. Hey, where are you going, Bob? Boba is awesome, guys. These radiateds, excuse me, that's not a radiated. He lives with the radiateds, but these Aldabra juveniles are just amazing. We're gonna go visit them in a second. I just like attacking problems as I find them here. This is a reality show here, friends. This is the reality of having your own reptile farm, and we got to keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. But in the meantime, we're gonna go and visit with these tortoises, man. Look at that Boba. He is so cool. He is awesome. Good boy. Now, what's the best way to get the Boba? Let's go this way. Wow, that really did stir things up. If there's no flow, that water gets a little bit muddy. Okay, look at Timmy, guys. Timmy is a little shy. Timmy's gonna take off. Later, Timmy! That's what I always find with these young Aldabras. When they're young like that, they get spooked and they leave. But Cersei, she's been getting better, which is nice. And you can see she's definitely growing. So I'm pretty excited that we have such potential with these tortoises, that in just about 10 years we're gonna have more giant tortoises here. And of course Nostradamus will be quite happy, and we're gonna be putting these guys, there's Boba from the other way, we'll be putting these guys together eventually. So that's gonna be amazing. And I love the Aldabras. I think they're special tortoises. They're just beautiful and they have great little personalities. But here we are now in the front enclosure, and we are actually really interested in finding the nest of a female radiated tortoise. I did see her digging, so I have an idea where she laid. So we're gonna go ahead and dig those up in a moment here. Are you gonna be shy again, bud? And what's funny about Timmy is, even though Timmy is an Aldabra tortoise, he does something that is just interesting to me. He has been burrowing, which is very interesting. Now, in the wild, in the Seychelles, or actually in the Aldabra Atoll, the baby Aldabra tortoises live in these crevices. They live in these coral crevices for a long time because you figure when you're tiny and you live amongst giants, you probably will get stepped on and squished. So they live inside these little areas where the coral has created these miniature caverns, and there's all kinds of little weeds growing in there, and so the tortoises live in there for a little while just to escape being stepped on by any of the adults. There's Cersei, and look, Boba's come out. And it's really cool that they do this. Now I'm going to show you why I'm talking about this when we talk to Timmy. But what's neat also is, before I forget here, Boba was the most shy tortoise I had. Boba remained hidden for weeks at a time. And finally now, Boba must have gotten hungry enough to come on out, and Boba's been getting much more, I would say, you know, not tame, but definitely not as scared of me as he was, or his new situation. These guys have been here for about a year now. Sometimes it takes a long time for these animals to settle in. Tortoises are creatures of habit, and he's beautiful, don't you think? He's curious here about the camera. Look at that. That is really cool. I think he's going to wind up having a really cool personality, Boba. He's got a great shell. Look at that shell from head on. So awesome. That is cool. Come on, Boba, come here. I wonder if I offered my hand, what he would do. Look at this. He's going to be an amazing tortoise, I can tell. Ooh, what do you think? You going to take a nibble on me? You going to nibble me? Oh, yes, you are, aren't you? I'm not for eating, Boba. I'm not for eating. But I will be your buddy, and I'll scratch you. I know Nostradamus loves his scratches, but that was pretty cool. I'm psyched that he's not scared anymore. This is the importance of keeping an eye on your animals. Always being out. Oh, and look who was right there. Timmy just showed up right behind me. Keeping an eye on your animals and checking them out. Now, before I forget, see how Timmy is all worn like that and rough? Because Timmy has made himself a cool home right over here. We were talking about them living in these little crevices and stuff. Well, Timmy found this. It's a pretty cool spot, but Timmy has definitely shaped it. Look at that. He has dug that out. That's Timmy digging that. So it's interesting behavior to see that an Aldabra tortoise is digging a burrow. So that's pretty cool. It had that nice shape on the rock, and believe me, it started out as just a very shallow hole, but he keeps on moving in and deeper, so I'm allowing him to do that. He likes it, and it's definitely like, you know, you can see the signs of all the dirt on him and how the top of his carapace is a little bit worn out. It's fine by me. He seems happy. That's all that matters. Oh, hello. How do you do? Good to see you, my friend. Here's one of our radiated. This male is hysterical. Wherever I am, he wants to come be my buddy. You know, a lot of people don't give these animals credit, right? They don't give them the credit that they can be not necessarily affectionate, but that they seek out your an interaction with you, and they do. And different species, in my opinion, you know, have different personality traits or different behaviors that are more conducive to being captives. And the radiated tortoises are just really special tortoises, and so are those Aldabras. Now, the reason I keep them both together here in this enclosure is, in my mind, you know, Madagascar and the Seychelles and, you know, the Aldabra Atoll are not very far away. And so I've seen people in the island of Mauritius keep radiateds with young Aldabras, and so I do it as well. They eat the same foods. They're from the same, well, same quadrant of the planet. They're pretty close together. And so, believe it or not, Madagascar and Mauritius each had a species of giant tortoise in prehistory. And then, of course, when more and more people started to colonize those islands, those species of giant tortoise were hunted out by prehistoric man. We're talking, you know, 10,000 years ago, there were other giant species of tortoises living on these islands, and even in North America. But of course, all the megafauna from those days got hunted out. Now, we're coming back here. Whew, I got up a little too quick. It's very hot, so you get a little dizzy. But look at how clear the water is here. And like I said, in just a little while, things will be clear for our friends at Sophia's Pond. Now, what I need to do is hope that this is in fact the nest. This is where I saw the female. It looks a little bit disturbed in this area. Looks like nothing else is dug at it, so let's have a look. Let us dig. There's definitely some soil been turned up here. I hope this is, oh my gosh, I hope we find eggs. Otherwise, I'm gonna be disappointed because I want more baby radiateds. Wait, look at that, guys. We got it. We got it. How awesome. So there is one egg, and they were laid yesterday. So we'll just try and keep them in the right orientation. Let's see. Is that all she laid? Is one? Nope. There are a few more here. Okay, good. Very good. Looks like we've got 3 eggs and a lot of stone. So she had to work very hard with this nest. But, oh, look at this, 4 eggs. And I like to kind of just gently remove the soil. And what this is actually a coquina dirt. It's a type of sand or coral sand. Well, actually it's made of shell and bits of coral. Okay, look at this. How cool. Looks like 4 beautiful radiated tortoise eggs. And again, we're just kind of feeling around. You always want to make sure in case there's another one in there, but this is just a stone. See that? All right, let's go ahead. I fill it back in. Very cool. So that's awesome, huh? We got these eggs. Very, very good. And I'm going to show you simply what we do with these eggs. Oop, that's a tree. Gotta be careful where I get up. Look at these. Beautiful male. Big, giant male radiated tortoise right here. Okay. And then, of course, this beauty here. They're all so gorgeous. Now, the funny thing about their eggs is their eggs are actually, for some reason, kind of difficult to hatch. And my friend, I'm forgetting her name. I can't believe it. Oh my God. I'm having a brain fade. This is terrible. Colette Adams. Holy smokes. Don't get old, kids. You'll start losing your mind. My friend Colette Adams from the Gladys Porter Zoo figured out that if you diapause these eggs, in other words, you can put them, she actually has put them in her refrigerator, which is what we'll do here. We put them in a refrigerator or at 55 degrees for about, 1 month. So we're gonna write our dates on these eggs. Today is October. Are you gonna potentially nibble on my pinky toe there? Is that what you're looking at? I fed you guys yesterday, and there's plenty of things around here that you can eat. But anyway, we're gonna do something called diapause. Now, I've talked about it on the channel before, and diapause is kind of how it sounds. It's a pause in the development of the egg. Now, it can happen midway through incubation. It can happen at the beginning of incubation. It can happen at the end. Diapause can also be triggered. It involves environmental triggers, be that either temperature or humidity. Water can trigger diapause. So for example, the pig-nosed turtle, that animal will lay its eggs in an area just above the water line. Okay, the eggs will develop and then they stop at a point in their development. And when they stop, what they're doing is they're waiting for the wet season for the waters to rise. And when the waters rise, the eggs become inundated, the nest becomes inundated with water, and that triggers the babies to hatch. Because, of course, an animal like the pig-nosed turtle, really not a land-based turtle, right? It's got paddles instead of feet, flippers rather. And so when they hatch underwater and dig out of the nest underwater. So they'll be in the water, they go all the way to the surface, take their breath of air, and then that's it. They don't touch the land again unless they're a female in order to lay her eggs and the next generation begins. So it's pretty cool. So diapause is that. It's something that stops. There are other turtles like the western swamp turtle in Australia that has a similar situation where the turtles rather, are going to be born underwater once the nest gets inundated. Well, radiated tortoises, okay, they are a temperature diapause. So basically we're going to keep these eggs cooler, and then we are going to, after a month, put them in the incubator. And from there on, it'll be about 3 months before they hatch. And this does increase the success of the eggs. This is a little female here, one of my females, and she's real pretty. So they're just kind of hanging out. Look, we got radiated tortoises absolutely everywhere. We've got a really nice group of them here at Kamp Kenan, and they seem to be very happy and healthy, hanging out in the leaf litter. I allow this leaf litter to just kind of collect here because it's a microclimate for them. There's all kinds of, you know, bugs that live in here for the Chinese box turtles to come eat. They live underneath this mango tree, and during the late spring we get a nice crop of mangoes, and I just allow the tortoises to eat those. You know, they just get seasonal fruit. Here's another young female, real pretty tortoise, just hanging out, real pretty girl. So again, the tortoises like this leaf litter. It's a nice little place where they can get humidity and things like that, that may not be in the macro climate, if that makes sense. Okay, let's continue to walk around and contend with these eggs. Ooh, I got bugs on my hat. Very cool. So yeah, how exciting. You know, it's always fun to get these eggs and to kind of, you know, have the potential of, you know, getting a new generation of baby tortoises out here, especially radiateds. They're kind of just a bucket list animal. I'm so proud that I have them. Let's have a look quick. We were talking about the pig nose or fly river turtle. Maybe we'll see one. Nope. Well, there's my big girl. There's Frida. Hi, Frida. The fly river is probably in its cave, but look at how beautiful. Oh, there it comes. What'd I tell you? In the cave. Let's see if the fly river, these guys actually can feel my footsteps. And since this is the only fly river turtle in here now, it's just so funny how it's really made everybody extremely calm in this pond. Now that there's no one biting each other or anything, it's pretty awesome. So there's the fly river. Isn't that great, guys? Just where I thought it was. And it's a big fly river, man. I mean, Chris Leone was here and he couldn't believe how big this turtle was. They get quite large, and they are so graceful in the water, and they can be challenged. But remember, these are another type of turtle that have a bit of a diapause in the development of their offspring when in the egg. So we learned a little bit about that. Let me bring you guys inside. We're gonna go into our, look at all these little curly tails. These are all my buddies. Look at them all. Yeah, curly tails, curly tails. We got lots of little curly tails because I've been feeding the curly tails and they've been quite happy about that. And what do we got? Well, we've got a container right here. I'm gonna just gently place these guys down here. Don't worry, I'll vacuum. But next thing we do is just open this container. I'm using a suspended incubation method. We've got a little bit of, you know, humidity, little water there, these raised trays. And then what I need is, I just saw my pencils. I just had pencils. Where did I put my pencils? Guys, I'm forgetting names and I'm forgetting where I'm putting stuff. It's so, there they are. It's so disheartening. Here are my pencils. Just where they should be, on the floor. Okay. All right, like I said, what is today's date, friends? Today's date is October 3rd. So I'm just gonna put a 10-3, and then we just place it right there. All right, a 10-3. We just keep doing that. This way I know on November 3rd, I'm gonna take these guys and I'm gonna put them into the incubator so that they can start to warm up. Now, I may also have to put these guys into the fridge. So what I'll do is I'll put them in the fridge, okay? And we'll cool these eggs down, and then you bring them out of the fridge, and then I'll place them right here for about a day so they can get to room temperature. And then after they've got to room temperature, they go in here. But for right now, they're just gonna go here for a moment, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys where I put the other radiated eggs. So now these radiated eggs right there that were laid 825 are now in here. And those are some cherry head eggs. So they're right there right now. And they should start to develop, and hopefully we get at least 1 or 2 babies out of that. We have the croc eggs, our caiman eggs here, but I don't think we're gonna get lucky. I don't know, they're full of something, but I didn't see any veins. But I'm gonna keep incubating these until they stink. So that's what I'm gonna do. Aside from that, we got some sulcata eggs right there, the earliest I've ever recorded having been laid. And then we've got some cherry heads, and we've got just only 2 rhino eggs. We had a disaster with our cyclura this year. It just all got moldy. So it was kind of a bummer. I was very depressed about that, friends. So there you go, that's what's going on. I'm gonna get to work back out here and fix this enclosure, so that we don't have any more little rascals, actually redfoots, no many rascally redfoots escaping into my yard. We just got to get to work. So I'm going to do that, and I hope you guys, you know, enjoy the video. So yeah, I'm just going to get to it here, friends. Hey, so I'm digging, and look what I found in the dirt, my friends. I found a baby redfoot tortoise. Seems to be alive, just a little buried in the dirt, so there must be a nest that I accidentally dug up. This guy, he smells alive, so we're gonna now sift through this dirt. I know I smelled rotten eggs, but I found him over in this area. I hope I didn't kill any while I was digging. Here's an egg right there. Holy smokes. Always something, friends. Always something. But he looks okay. Let's just keep digging. What do I find in here? Let's move this. Glad I wasn't going too crazy. How funny. It's also possible he walked over here and I just didn't see him. But nonetheless, pretty exciting stuff when you find a little tortoise in the soil, huh? I think so. How fun. There's always something going on here at the old camperoo. That is amazing. This piece of cement is over here. Now, it's possible, did I kind of pull him over from here? Did I pull him over from here? This is where the rotten egg was. So it's clearly a nest that I missed. Here it is. Boy, does it smell. That's another. Oh my gosh. I don't see any other babies here. Wow, exciting. It's good to get in with your hands, friends. Make sure no tortoise gets left behind. How awesome. All right, I don't think, see, here's the rotten egg. So it's possible he was the only one in that nest that wasn't rotten. Okay, oh, he was starting to poke out. He's starting to poke out. Cool. I'm just gonna keep pushing this stuff up. So that's amazing. What a bonus. You do a little work in here, and this is what I always say. You gotta get your hands dirty, and you gotta find your animals. But that's cool. Holy smokes. All right, friends, there you have it. A baby redfoot little dude. A little bonus at the end of this video. Let's go ahead and give him a soak. That's what I like to do. He's probably a little dry, so what we'll do is I just come over here, get a little water like that, fresh Aquascape ecosystem water, and then we just shut that and let it drip on the little guy. Let it dripperoo. How awesome. He's alive. Oh, thank goodness. Well, all right, friends, I'm gonna get back to work. I'll see you later. This project is over, and so is the video. See you guys. Ain't no tortoise getting out of there.